Salutations and welcome back to the Xender Games boss fight series. This might be a little bit of a rush job because I meant to record this video like a week ago, but whatever, it's fine. We'll probably be able to finish it in time. As I said in the last episode, and in case you didn't watch the last episode, which I wouldn't blame you because it wasn't really that interesting, we're doing the Eschaton today. It's a hard demon, it's also extremely long. This is not going to be one of those episodes that I spend like 6 minutes recording and then post it afterwards, after beating the level in 6 minutes, because the level itself is 5 minutes long. So yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of time for me to actually finish it, but we'll get there in the end, hopefully. Just kidding, I had low detail mode on. We're gonna start now. Now, this is an extremely epic level, and also extremely detailed, which is why I had low detail mode on, because the level doesn't work very well in practice mode. When I go through it in practice mode without low detail mode on, so I don't actually know if it's going to work in normal mode either, because I've never gotten far enough in normal mode to see what will happen. So, we are going to see what happens. Now, I don't actually have very much intelligent commentary about this level, apart from the fact that it's just an amazing level. It's one of the best levels in the game, in my opinion. And in a lot of other people's opinions, just in case you don't know Geometry Dash very well. I don't know Geometry Dash very well, which is why I managed to die in simple parts like that. But for those of you who just don't watch Geometry Dash or play it all that much, this is a really kind of legendary level, if I'm being honest. It is literally the stuff of legends. Not really. I'm speaking lies at the moment. It's not literally the stuff of legends, but it is a really good level. Now, I guess I'll just kind of explain what's to come for anyone who watches this video. Essentially, there are going to be 5 boss fights. I'm pretty sure it's 5. There are 5-ish boss fights, and before anything else happens, I'm gonna turn off the progress bar, just in case I randomly fluke the level from 61 to 100%. I don't know if it'll happen, but if it does, I'll be prepared. But yeah, there will be 5 boss fights, yes, definitely 5. I have a memory, and it does work. There are 5 boss fights in this level. Some of them might not really count as boss fights, but whatever. And not all of them are intense, but most of them are very intense. So coming up right here, this is the first quote-unquote boss fight. It doesn't really seem all that much of a boss fight, which is why I put it in quotes. But there is like some weird worm thing in the background. It's gone now. It's a pretty short boss fight, if you call it that. So, yeah. Honestly, it's up to you whether you want to call that a boss fight or not. I personally will call it a boss fight, just because I can. There's literally no reasoning behind it. I'm just able to, so I will. Then you've got your epic backstory in the background, which I cannot read because I am hyper-focused on hyper gaming. And I'm probably gonna die here like an idiot, like a clown. Oh, I didn't. That was good. And then we get the second boss fight, Dual Beam, which is a step up from the last boss fight, again in quotation marks. And then after Dual Beam, we get Doomsday, which is, again, a step up. Maybe not from Dual Beam, although I did die to Doomsday and not Dual Beam, so who's to say, really? But definitely more intense than the first weird worm thing. It doesn't even have a name. It's not a named boss, if it is a boss. I already said that I'm gonna call it a boss, so I don't know why I'm still playing this game. Now, when I say Dual Beam is a boss, it's not exactly a boss, it's bosses, because there's 2 of them, hence the name Dual Beam. You can see them just kind of flying around at times, but yeah. And then Doomsday, it's just one guy. Actually, I have no idea if it's male or female, so you can be the judge, I guess. And then we enter City Neon 18, and we see an old friend. It is Boss 3 Electro back again to say hi for one final time. And this is one of the, that's one of the boss fights that I'm, again, reluctant to call really a boss fight. A little bit more so than the worm thing, actually, because Electro's just kind of sitting in the background, like punching the roof, the ceiling, and the floor. Like, you can consider that a boss fight if you want. I will, simply because it makes it 5 instead of like 4, which is like, why would you even put just 4 boss fights in a level? That's a stupid number. I guess you could call them mini bosses, which is funny because in other levels they would probably be considered maxi bosses. That's not really a term, but I just made it up, so whatever. But yeah, in other levels it would just be normal bosses, but compared to the other bosses in this level, these are definitely mini-bosses. See, now the thing is, if I don't focus, then I usually die. And that's not a big problem in most other levels that I play, but in this one, it sets me back pretty far. Multiple minutes. So we're gonna try and focus. There's not gonna be a whole lot of talking for most attempts. Also, we have this nice little interlude before we enter the final stretch. Hopefully we don't have to do this more than like 5 times, but who knows what'll happen. Well, there's 1, so hopefully 4 more times-ish will be the limit. Alright. Take 2, we are back here for the second time. It took me a really long time to get here again, but we'll see what happens. And to the final boss fight. And we're also lagging a bunch, so I imagine the music might desynchronize a little bit, but hopefully we don't, like, crash in the middle of playing that at some point in time. Who knows what'll happen. And number 3, let's see what there is to see. It seems there's very little to see, unfortunately. And 4th time is the charm, as they always say. I'm pretty sure this is definitely the 4th time. Alright, maybe 4th time is not the charm. We only really have 1 more attempt before I've gone over the limit I set for myself. There. I guess I'm just gonna have to quit Geometry Dash if I do that. Okay, number 5. If I fail after this, I basically quit Geometry Dash. Alright, well, it'll be sad to go, I'm sorry, but this is gonna be my last episode of Geometry Dash. I will not be recording anymore, and unfortunately I will not be able to finish this level. Just kidding, April Fools. This is not releasing on April Fools if I have anything to say about it, but still, April Fools, I'm not quitting Geometry Dash. Okay, I think this is number 6. Maybe. I don't really remember. Probably. And there we go again. I have yet to actually face the final boss a second time. I've gotten to the little interlude thing 6 times now. But I've only faced the final boss once. Clearly this is a skill issue. Number 7, baby. And finally we get back to the final boss fight. And we failed the final boss fight, apparently. It is heavily slowing down. I should probably just turn on low detail mode if I'm being honest. And that would have been number 7, but unfortunately I managed to find a random glitch in the Matrix and was flung to my death in the stratosphere. Did I say that would have been number 7? I'm not sure if that was number 7. I'm pretty sure that would have been number 8. I'm gonna stop counting because my brain's getting all confuzzled. Alright, I accidentally glitched the game, so we're gonna exit out of the level like this. And then continue yes, the classic game of Geometry Dash, the Eschaton, my favorite level in the world. Clearly something's wrong, so, we're gonna kind of, leave and come back. And we're back. Let's see if that in any way, shape, or form fixed the problem. Okay, well, there are actual objects in the level now, so presumably the problem is indeed fixed, and I didn't accidentally glitch the game out and, like, complete the level through some weird game bug. That's good. Alright, well, I really have just kind of run out of time to make this episode, so I really don't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to call it here. That is going to be it from me for this episode of the Xender Game boss fight series. Expect the completion very shortly, but, yeah, I can't do it right now, so, stay safe and goodbye.